Hello again, basketball fans, and welcome to this edition of Hardwood Classics on NBA TV. I'm Rick Kamla. The Chicago Bulls were an unstoppable force during the 1995-96 campaign. In Michael Jordan's first full season back after giving baseball a try, the Bulls won an NBA record 72 games in the regular season. Chicago took that momentum straight into the playoffs, losing just one game en route to the NBA Finals. In the finals, the Seattle Supersonics appeared to be Chicago's next victim after losing the first 3 games in the series. However, Seattle would fight back and win the next 2 at home, setting up Game 6 in the Windy City.
And this crowd much livelier than we saw in games 1 and 2 here in Chicago. The opening tip controlled by the Bulls. The crowd actually trying to get itself into it during the playing and singing of the national anthem. They began the chant early on during the singing of the anthem. Here is Harper blocked by Payton. Shot clock at 7. We are just underway in Game 6. Pippen to the drive. We did not see that in Game 5.
Well, one of the reasons Scotty's been struggling with a shot, he gets the ball many times with the shot clock winding down. This time he didn't settle for jumper, took it hard to the hole.
Gary Payton met by Scottie Pippen. Open shot for left shrimp, and the game is tied at 2.
Terrific ball movement. Brickowski, he wants to take that shot. Shrimp, obviously a better shooter, but Brick can hit that play.
Luke Longley playing with a sore lower back. Dennis Rodman very quiet. Game 5 in Seattle. Michael Jordan. Oh, he knew on the release. He began to walk back down court.
2 series, 2 touches for Jordan in the same spot on the floor.
Ron Kemp not able to hit on his first opportunity. The Bulls with a 5-2 lead. Jordan had missed his previous 6 from three-point range. Minute and a half gone by. Kemp had it poked away by Rodman.
As we mentioned, Scottie Pippen getting the ball with the shot clock winding down. There's 7 seconds on the shot clock. Michael decides not to drive it, see what he's got with the jump shot first, as the Chicago bench glad to see Michael get off so well.
And here's Kemp from deep. Ron Harper playing with the band back. Played only 1 minute. In game number 5 has seen very little action since game 2. Pippen putting moves on Kemp, slicing his way, and back come the Sonics. 3-on-2 developing, but the Bulls get back. Brickowski blows the stuff. He thought it was fouled.
They're going to let this one go a lot, Marv. Brickowski's got to finish that play.
That was last touch by the Sonics.
For the last 2 games, Frank Brickowski has played 33 minutes, has not scored a point, has 4 rebounds, but yet he's been effective for this team because he is spreading the floor. He can't believe a foul wasn't called there on the play before. Scottie Pippen thought he got hit.
Longley. Nice pass for Rodman. Here's Hersey Hawkins. Lost it from behind, and we are seeing a different Scottie Pippen here at the start. He's come out in very aggressive fashion. Ron Harper giving the Bulls a 7-2 lead, and they are standing and cheering here at the United Center. Pressure from Chicago. Sonics able to get it down. Hersey Hawkins. Hersey Hawkins, as Michael Jordan described, has been very scrappy, very aggressive. He's played very well the last 2 games. Jordan lost it. He thought he was fouled. 4-on-3 for Seattle. Kemp. And the Bulls were looking for a charge, did not get the call, as Kemp is able to tip it home.
Well, in the other games of this series and throughout all the playoffs, we have heard so many whistles. The officials look like they're going to let them play. If they do this, however, they got to let them go all game this way.
The Bulls 7 and the Sonics 6. And now a whistle away from the ball as Steve Javie in indicates a foul on Brykowski.
This is what championship basketball is all about. Let the players decide this. Rodman with another flop. Shawn Kemp just stays with it. Shawn Kemp, again, very active. The difference for Chicago, they're taking the ball to the basket. They're not settling for the perimeter game.
And that's what Jordan attempts to do and was fouled. He was hacked. Percy Hawkins called for his first.
Well, the players have it in their minds. They want to be aggressive. They want to take the ball to the basket as much as possible, but they're going to start to get some second thoughts. If they're going to go to the hole and not get the whistles when they get fouled, well, they're going to start thinking about maybe just relying with that jump shot.
Well, Micheal with his fourth point. Jordan, 11 of 22, 26 points the other night in Seattle. The rest of the Bulls just 18 of 55, but it was a very quiet 11 of 22. Micheal shut down in the fourth quarter. Did not have a field goal the last 9.5 minutes and looked tired in the second half.
Marv, that long week on the road in the 2-3-2 format at the very end of the season, very debilitating for the team like Chicago on the road.
And he had to chase Gary Payton around at the other end of the court. Off the steal and taken back by Payton. Payton for Kemp. And a blocking foul against Chicago.
Well, Chicago has had a number of situations in the early going here where they have been a little bit careless with the handle. A couple of catches by Luke Longley. That time, Scottie Pippen not making sure he had the ball before he went down court and gave up the ball. And Scottie felt he was in good position to take that charge. I think he was too far underneath the basket. Good call.
What's a first-team all-league defensive player like Scottie Pippen doing taking charges anyway? That's for guys who have no game. When you can play basketball, you are defenders. You're not a guy that just gets run over and bailed out by the refs.
And Pippen picked up his first foul. Matt, did you have something to say?
I'm stumped. I don't know. I thought that was a part of good defense, taking charge. No way Scottie Pippen could block that shot.
Luke Longley could not handle the lead. Hopper says his fault. Bulls 9, Sonics 8, with 7:40 remaining in this opening quarter. Marv Albert with Matt Dukas and Bill Walton. Marv Rashad and a Storm working the sidelines. Payton, yes. And the Sonics with a 1-point lead.
Hannah was talking about play the full 48. Seattle does not think that Chicago can do that. The poise, the confidence, the determination evident for the Sonics today.
Here's a three for Pippen. Scottie Pippen. Only 3 of 24 from downtown the last 3 games, and the Bulls a horrible 3 of 26 in Game 5 on Friday night. In fact, at one point they missed 20 straight three-pointers. Shrimp, yes, and the game is tied at 12. Bulls have hit their first 2 three-point attempts. Jordan and now Pippen. Scottie Pippen, who's playing hurt, the bad ankles, a bad back, sore knee, has had a very difficult series. His shot corner, Longley from way out. The tip pass, Julian Rodman converts.
A poor spacing by Chicago with Jordan being fronted in the post. Luke Longley has to get up above the tip of the circle to get Brykowski out of there. That's why they cannot throw that lob to Micheal.
Bulls with a 14-12 lead. Here's the double on Kemp. Rodman over to help. Kemp in trouble. Hawkins able to save it. And midcourt crowd wanted to travel. Shot clock is at 3. Hawkins.
Seattle is not taking care of their defensive boards. And the fact that Shawn Kemp is off to a very slow start is hurting the Sonics.
And the Bulls are firing from the three-point range. Shrimp for 3. Way off.
Well, everybody just launching the first shot that shows up, trying, I think, to get whatever jitters there might be, and there shouldn't be at this juncture, just to shoot jump shot.
Timeout is taken with 5:33 remaining. And McMillan able to hang in, remains on the floor. David Wingate has come on for the first time for Seattle. Steve Kerr in for Chicago. We come on about 1 minute left in the first quarter. Illegal defense called for the first time. So that is the warning against the Bulls. Ron Harper starting the game after playing only 1 minute in Game 5 in Seattle, and has played well in this first quarter. Here's Dennis Rodman for Luke Longley. Here's it from the crowd. 4 points for Longley.
Ron Harper is moving so much better. You're so tentative back in Seattle. Perkins has to have a big game for Seattle. He has not been aggressive in his early moments.
McMillan going to his left, beating Kukoc. Crowd looking for a travel. Harper able to dive for it. Steve Kerr only 2 of 8 in 24 minutes the other night. Tony Kukoc rebounded by Kemp. The Sonics on the run. Wingate gives it back, a bad pass. And on the scramble, Rodman had it knocked away. Last touch by Seattle.
That's a terrific defensive recovery by Ron Harper. And those are the kinds of plays he has made for Chicago all season long and in the early going into the playoffs. When Tony Kukoc posting up the smaller Payton inside, no fadeaway jumpers. Take the ball strong to the hole.
Seattle does a terrible job of getting the ball to a guard on the fast break. Get the ball to Payton. Get the ball to Wingate. McMillan.
Kukoc from the shot clock running down. The extension by Tony Kukoc. Final seconds of the quarter. Perkins for 3. And that's it for this opening quarter in Chicago. Standing ovation for the Bulls. After 1. The Bulls 24 and the Sonics 18. No team in NBA history has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. To give you a broader perspective, Major League Baseball, no one has done it. National Hockey League, 2 teams have done it. The 42 Toronto Maple Leafs, the 75 New York Islanders. And no team has ever come back from a 3-2 deficit in the NBA with 2 wins on the road. Let's check in with Hannah Storm. Hannah?
Marv, Nate McMillan has been bothered on that left leg by pressure on the sciatic nerve. He's had a lot of pain in the back of the leg, but this most recent injury was a knee on the side of the leg. They iced it during that timeout. It shouldn't have any impact on the injury that he has struggled with throughout these playoffs. Let's send it over to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Hannah. I just talked with Chip Schaefer, the Wolves trainer, and he told me the ice they're putting on Ron Harper is preventative sort of medicine. What it does, it gives it an analgesic effect that numbs the knee and keeps the pain away. Marv?
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Opening minute, second quarter, and the Bulls with a 24-18 lead on the Sonics.
Chicago has to be very happy with their defense in the first quarter, holding the Sonics to just 18 points. And I don't know why Seattle doesn't go to more pick and rolls. Chicago has had a lot of trouble defending it.
Gary Payton just missed a wide open layup after he burned Jordan from the perimeter.
And here's Jordan getting inside, and he was fouled. Foul on Wingate. For David Wingate, his first, and Michael Jordan to the line. He's 4 of 4 at the line.
And again, the intelligence of the Bulls. They know that when Michael has this feeling on championship night, when he's got a small defender, give him some room to get to the hoop. He can just overpower the outsized Wingate.
8 points for Jordan, although he is only 1 of 5 from the field. You know, you think back to after Game 3, several Sonics, including Gary Payton, basically giving their concession speeches. Rodman is fouled, and he'll go to the line. You have the feeling that the Sonics felt that the series was all over. They appear to be giving up except for Shawn Kemp, who made those bold statements, and here they are right back into it, although the Bulls are playing very well in this first half, and Dennis Rodman hearing it from the crowd after drawing the foul. It's called on Kemp, who sits down.
Well, you just can't assume that Michael Jordan is going to miss free throws just because he's a good foul shooter, but how can you not box out Dennis Rodman in a free throw situation? He makes a living doing that.
Matt, Seattle's a poor defensive rebounding team. They don't have the big guys. Rodman horrible at the line. Remember, it was in game 2. Seattle had a chance to go for the victory. Scottie Pippen continues to play perfect basketball.
Well, this crowd has been into it right from the start, looking to provide a lift for the Bulls. Very quiet crowd in games 1 and 2. Chicago with an 18-8 run the last 7 minutes. Perkins coming up short. And it was last touched by the Bulls.
Marv, Sam Perkins looks really off tonight. This is the guy who has to have a big game. He had a wide open dunk there and just not moving well at all.
Perkins has missed his first 3 shots. Seattle bench 0 for 6 here at the start. Now Perkins gives it back. Schrempf for 3. Yes! Detlef Schrempf from downtown. He has 7 points, and the Bulls now lead by 6.
Poor decision by Tony Kukoc to come doubled as he ran back to the other end. Phil Jackson let him know about it. Rodman had Perkins under control, too far away from the basket. Double team not necessary.
And Rodman took a poke in the head from Schrempf. For Detlef his first. And a new 24 for the Bulls. Here's another look at it.
Rodman in the triple post. Detlef feels he can get a play from behind. Rodman always has to have the last word.
Jordan with a series of fakes, had to give it back. And a travel on Steve Kerr. The Bulls were called for 7 traveling violations in Game 5 in Seattle.
And I talked to Phil Jackson before the game. I said, of the 7, Phil, how many really were? He said 1. Actually, on that particular play, Michael Jordan got away with a walk to escape the defensive Wingate.
When does Phil Jackson start complaining about the refs? Come on. Seattle hammered him in Game 5.
Of course, that's always a coach's point of view in terms of, well, sure. 1 out of 7.
Well, at first it's the refs, then it's the timekeeper, then it's the announcers next. Who knows?
Well, he wasn't complaining about the referees. He was just answering my question.
He was complaining about you, in fact. Kukoc off the steal. Kerr facing the double team. We are early second quarter, and the Bulls lead 27-21. Steve Kerr, who has not been hitting the shot, hits on his first, and the Bulls lead 29-21.
Jordan rode Kerr the last turnover. He went right back to him with the pass. That's what great teammates do. They lead their guys to beautiful performances.
Hawkins. Percy Hawkins with the floater. His second field goal. He has 4, and the Bulls now lead by 6 points. Phil Jackson with Rodman, Kukoc, Jordan, Hawkins, on the floor. Beautiful pass. Rodman. Well, Dennis getting credit for the extra rebound. That's the second time that has occurred.
That's Moses Malone basketball. But Chicago's getting to the hoop. They did not do that out in Seattle.
Wingate hits from downtown. And now it's changed to a 2. Hit the foot on the line. 31-25 the score. And a blocking foul called on Wingate.
Well, Michael Jordan drawing the attention of the defense, getting up in the air, finding Kerr wide open, and the crowd, you could feel it in the tone. They wanted Steve to make that, and he really put a beautiful arc on that shot to get the first one. And Michael is so in tune anytime around the basket, feeling the defense, finding the open man, and Scottie Pippen appreciates that kind of basketball.
Longley back on the floor. setting up on Perkins. And it's a traveling violation.
Luke has been playing very, very well. He's another one of the Bulls who's going to have off-season surgery. He's got to have some bone spurs taken off those ankles. He will not play in the Olympics for Australia, his native country, this summer.
And Luke also bothered by a sore back in recent days. 6-point Chicago lead. 4 minutes in, second quarter. And the overplay, Harper called for the foul.
Well, the Bulls have made a concerted effort anytime a smaller man is playing a bigger man in the post to get around and front and put pressure not only on the passer, but make that a tough pass, and it has gotten the Bulls more aggressive defensively. Hey, Chicago is playing very well. Seattle is not playing their type of basketball yet, and they look at up at that scoreboard and find themselves only trailing by 6.
And if they would just feed the post, Seattle would get that ball in better. They float passes. They hang them out. You got to zip it in there hard to the guy.
And that's Fred calling out the play. And it led to the offensive foul. Illegal pick set by Kemp trying to free up the man with the ball, Shrem.
It looked like Shawn Kemp was stationary, but when he leaned over, when he put that shoulder down, if he had stood his ground upright, that would have been a foul on Rodman.
Here's Jordan. Well, would have been a two-pointer. Put on the line, so Micheal is now 2 of 7 from the field.
The guards are running away from the ball in the backcourt for Seattle.
Nice. Kemp, Rodman.
Now there's that pass you wanted, Bill, as Rodman, he was buried in the lane there, had to try to get around in front, but way too late, as Kemp did a beautiful job of holding him off. Perfect pass.
Bulls 31, Sonics 27. Jordan facing the double team, finding Pippen. Rodman trying to draw contact, no call, but Longley got it to Jordan. Here's Jordan. Micheal able to elevate. Bulls lead 33-27.
Mark, defensive rebound. It's killing Seattle. They can't dig that ball out.
Shawn Kemp once again from the outside. That's his 4th field goal. He has 10 points, so the Bulls lead by 4. Bulls have led by as many as 9. Sonics briefly led by 1. They were up 10-9 in the early going. Here's Jordan going to the series of fakes. Rebounded by Shrem.
Oh, Micheal is so quick right now. He had Hersey Hawkins whipped on the baseline. Hersey would have never found him, but Micheal didn't realize how badly he had him beat.
Perkins working on Pippen and lost it. Harper with Hawkins back. Foul by Hawkins, and Harper had the acceleration.
Sam Perkins looks asleep.
Chicago with a 35-29 lead on Seattle. Halfway through the second quarter. Hawkins and Payton in the backcourt. Shrem with Kemp and Perkins up front. Here is Kemp. And Hawkins able to hustle it down. Shrem for 3. Harper with Shrem back. And Jordan will reset.
Harper moving so much better. Obviously, the series of injections that he took during the course of this week seemed to be working for this game today. Always a very dangerous proposition, though.
Play by Perkins to bring it up and hit the rim. So they got the new 24. Kukoc. The Sonics screaming for offensive interference.
It's like a volleyball game up there. Nobody going after the basketball in a green uniform as Kukoc Longley hanging all over that rim.
It's amazing. How can you expect to win the championship of the NBA when you can't get a defensive rebound each and every time the other team miss?
And another Seattle turnover. They've been sloppy with the ball. It leads to Pippen. 9 points for Scottie Pippen. And the Sonics want to talk it over. were going to break on that Sonic timeout. Double technicals were called on Payton and Harper as they had words as they crossed paths in front of the official scorer's table. 10-point lead for Chicago, their biggest lead of the night. We have 4:39 remaining in the first half. Perkins for Schrempf. Pippen with the rebound.
Bad pass by Perkins took Schrempf out of his rhythm.
Jordan. Good box out by Kemp. Schrempf. Jordan able to break it up. Harper protecting the ball. With the tip. And the Bulls are rolling.
Chicago is getting fast break opportunity after opportunity. Sonic's not getting back, and when they do and the shot is missed, nobody's jumping for a rebound.
And the Bulls have out-rebounded the Sonics now 24-15. Shot clock down to 5. Atkins bottled up and held the foul committed by Jordan.
The effect of the home crowd, which just keeps pushing and pushing for their favorite Bulls here. Just waves of rampaging Bulls at the glass. Harper throws it up. He knows somebody. That time it was Kukoc. Pippen was right there. Pippen's defense has been spectacular today, Marv.
Standing ovation for Ron Harper. Steve Kerr coming on for Harper, who is playing with an injured left knee. Kemp from Sam Perkins. It's the Bulls by 10. Chicago with 9 steals in this first half. 4 by Pippen. NBA record for the NBA Finals in a single game is 7 by Robert Horry of Houston last year. Pippen already has 4. Pippen keeps it alive as the Bulls get the new 24. Crowd wanted Kukoc to pull the trigger.
I'd pass it to Jordan instead.
Excellent thought. Shot clock at 5, and a travel is called.
Oh, they were trying, but Michael Jordan really played beautifully by Gary Payton, bumping from behind, getting around and fronting, and doing a terrific job as he has now the last 2.5 games, just unable to get the ball to him, and Michael Jordan upset about it.
Schrempf able to free himself up. 9 points for Schrempf. Bulls lead 41-33 with 2.5 to go in this first half. 8 rebounds, 5 off the offensive glass for Rodman. You can see the domination by Chicago. Schrempf with a good play to knock it away from Jordan. 3-on-2. Fouled by Kerr.
That last play, Michael lit up when Detlef Schrempf switched out, and that was a replay of George Karl's faulty strategy from game 1 in this series. Led to a fast break opportunity, and with good balance, with the guard in the middle and Schrempf running the wing, they got an easy trip to the foul line.
So Detlef Schrempf to the line for the first time. Earlier this season, Detlef out with a fracture of the left tibia. Sat out 19 games. Took a while for him to make it back. His cutting and reactions were a bit off. Here's Dennis Rodman for Tony Kukoc. Kukoc 2 of 5. He has 4 points. The Chicago Bulls 9-0 at home in the playoffs, including victories over the Sonics in games 1 and 2. During the regular season, they won 39 of 41. The Sonics did not want the Bulls celebrating on their floor. Won the last 2 in Seattle. And now the Bulls are hoping to pull off the celebration here tonight. The Sonics looking to send it to a Game 7 here in Chicago on Wednesday. Seattle with 6 unanswered points. They are within 6 with just under 2 minutes to go. First half. And again, the Bulls force the Sonics into a turnover.
Pippen's defense is just spectacular tonight. He's everywhere. He doesn't get any credit that time, but he forced that turnover. So nice to see Scotty back on top of his game.
Chicago has had a couple of unforced turnovers by Michael Jordan on the last couple of trips. They have to start handling the ball much, much better.
Already 11 turnovers tonight. They had just 11 for the entire game on Friday. Nice ball movement. Pippen slicing his way, trying to feed off to Longley, but it was called for a charging foul.
Good call. Pippen in the lane. The defenders were in the air, which is fine. Scotty initiating this contact. Knocks over a bunch of players.
Well, it is a good call, but the way this ball game started, everybody was flopping to the floor, falling down. Some of them were real charges, some of them were imagined, but this is what confuses the players. The way the game starts out, the way it's officiated, and then it starts to change as you gradually move on. Very tough to figure out.
Scottie Pippen was called for a second, taking a seat, replaced by Tony Kukoc. Here's Kemp on a double team. Able to shoot loose, but could not hit.
I think Sean's got to take shots like that, Marvin. He's got 11 shot attempts in the game. I think 25 for him has got to be his goal. Sometimes you got to force a little bit when you're the best player on your team.
Nice lead pass, but Jordan rejected by Kemp. What a play by Kemp. How often do we see that? And here's Kemp at the other end.
Kemp is the one guy on this team that will block shots. He's not a real intimidating shot blocker, but when he gets his rhythm, he'll force Phil Jackson to take a timeout as he's led Seattle right back into this game.
You know, we have just seen one of the great end-to-end sequences of this season. The show by Shawn Kemp.
Well, with Shawn Kemp defending Dennis Rodman, doesn't have to worry about him so much as an offensive player. You do have to worry about him on the offensive glass, but no way he can get it there as Shawn Kemp made sure nothing doing for Michael Jordan. And then Shawn Kemp, who's been shooting the jump shot really from the perimeter very well, and that tough little medium-range jumper nicely.
You see the way Shawn Kemp floated by Jordan and let Jordan sort of suckered him in, forced him to bring it behind his head, and then wiped it off with that left hand. Reminded me of Bill Russell a little bit.
Well, Kemp with 14 points. He has sparked an 8-0 run for Seattle after the Bulls took a 12-point lead. And now Kemp sitting down with 40 seconds remaining in the half. The Bulls lead by 4. Looked like they were about to pull away, leading by as many as 12.
Luke Longley, who has been shooting the ball very well throughout the series, not getting that many shots, however, as he has averaged 11 points a game, doing a terrific job in this ball game of when his man leaves him, finding that crease, finding that open area, and his teammates know where big Luke is and able to finish the play.
And the difference in the post feeding by both teams. Chicago, Tex Winter and Phil Jackson, the triple post offense, they know you got to zip that ball in.
How about Longley going behind the back? All right.
Redheads are very good at stuff like that.
I see. Here's Perkins. He continues to struggle, but Shrimp on the rebound.
Nobody
lead by 6, and Perkins rejected. Perkins not able to hit, but a foul is called. Well, Matt, as you say, no one defending Perkins. McMillan spotted him, but Sam has had a very long first half.
Well, so, no question he's having a tough time, but you don't leave him wide open underneath as miscommunication between Longley and Rodman, leaving him wide open, but Sam still couldn't get the shot to go.
I think they were testing Sam. I think they said, look, if we leave you wide open, can you score?
I see.
He couldn't.
He is 0 for 5 from the field. Foul was called on Rodman, and Perkins now 0 for 1 at the line. Sam was celebrated his 35th birthday on Friday and was serenaded by the crowd after the game. Had the touch earlier this series, usually very good in clutch situations.
And that's what's so surprising. I mean, this is the kind of game that Sam Perkins comes out and plays beautiful basketball and hitting the threes and rebounding, playing defense, and today it has just been nothing.
So the Bulls lead by 5. Final seconds of the half. Jordan. And he was tripped up. That won't count. Gary Payton upset about that foul, his second. And Seattle in the penalty, so Jordan will shoot 2 with 4 at 9/10 seconds remaining first half.
Well, with the second quarter winding down, the Bulls going to their spread offense where they open the floor, and we'll give it to Pippen, Kukoc, or Michael Jordan. I asked Phil Jackson before the game, come fourth quarter, if you're having trouble scoring in the triangle, will you open it up? Give the ball to Michael Jordan at the top of the key. He said, we haven't used it much yet. We're ready to put it in.
The Bulls 44, the Sonics 38.
That's probably why Phil Jackson is coach of the year. Just, you know, call the play. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan.
Chicago by 7. McMillan. And Perkins. That's the end of the first half. And the Bulls hearing it from this crowd. Halftime at the United Center in Chicago. And the Bulls lead the Sonics 45-38. Seattle ball as we get started in the third quarter. 7-point Chicago lead. Micheal up front with Kemp and Schrempf. In the backcourt, Payton. Payton opens up by hitting the 3.
Inside-out offense. Seattle needs that. Chicago hasn't had much of that. That's one of the reasons why they haven't been getting it done from behind the line. But you dump it inside, it sets everything out.
Bulls lead 45-41. Traveling violation on Pippen.
12th turnover for Chicago. Seattle with 11 in the first half. In the half court, Seattle does have to go into Kemp, but only 2 fast break points in that first half for Seattle. I don't know if they can win a basketball game playing that way.
And guys, that's the 4th travel on the Bulls. They were not happy with 7 travels in Game 5 on Friday. Here is Kemp. Spot, but could not convert.
At least Kemp is still taking good shots. They open up with Payton and Kemp handling the ball.
Open shot for Hopper, who has been a major factor. He has 7 points, and the Bulls lead by 7.
Total miscommunication on the part of the Sonics in their transition defense. That wasn't even a fast break. It was a slow break.
Oh, he was playing tough by Pippen.
Pippen's playing a solid all-around game. But when he gets Schrempf, he should keep facing the basket, use his quickness, foot speed, just blast right by deadlift.
Schrempf has 13 points. Hopper got the step on Rakowski. Short with the putback.
Defensive rebounding. Again, you think of championship teams, you think of big guys snatching balls and firing outlet passes. There's nothing. This is just layup after layup for Chicago.
All started with the double team on Jordan and big men chasing small men out on the floor.
Here's Schrempf for 3. And Jordan with the rebound. Bulls lead by 7. 2 minutes, 10 seconds gone by. Third quarter, Jordan for Longley. Yes. The Bulls have opened up a 52-43 advantage.
Penetration and dish. That's Michael Jordan's ultimate taking over of this league after Isaiah, after Magic, and after Larry Bird.
Rakowski for 3. Longley able to save that pass slightly off, but then threw it away. Gave it right back to the Sonics.
Test that man for color blindness.
Shot clock at 10. Trent went flying. Shot clock at 4. Oh, what a shot by Gary Payton.
Well, after terrific defense on the part of Ron Harper, really stifling Gary Payton, forcing him to take that tough shot.
Ron Harper will have to take some time out to tie the shoelaces.
I don't know how that was not a traveling violation on Payton.
And still hits the three. Forget about the shoelaces. There you see it. Dragging the right foot. 10-point Chicago lead. Offensive foul is called.
Hersey Hawkins, as Ron Harper's got to tie the shoes up. This is after he made it, where you just play with no shoelaces. Hersey Hawkins called for the screen across foul on the move. Dennis Rodman flops once again. Again, here's a guy that doesn't flinch when Shaq thumps him. And Hersey Hawkins, who's bigger than Marv, comes out and sets a screen.
Hey, that's 4 on Hawkins. Off the pop. So again, Jordan heads to the line. Foul on Payton. That's 3 on Payton. And a timeout taken by Seattle. Animated discussion between Dennis Rodman and Hugh Evans, who is being led away by teammates.
Well, Michael's still struggling from the field at 4 for 12, but like all the great scorers in the history of basketball, when they do not have their shot going, they find ways to score, and here it is, right at the free throw line. Michael going for his 9th and 10th free throw of the game.
4 minutes gone by in the third quarter. The Bulls lead by 12. This matches their biggest lead of the game. Gary Payton is playing with 3 personal fouls. Hersey Hawkins has 4. They're on the floor with Kemp, Schrempf, and Bukowski. Open shot for Schrempf. And left Schrempf with a solid ball game. 6 of 11. He's now the high scorer for Seattle with 15.
Seattle's hope here has to be on the fact that Chicago cannot play a full 48-minute game. The age, the injuries. But that crowd right now is so ready.
Hopper way off the block. Dennis Rodman, who's been quiet the last 2 games, has certainly had an impact here tonight. As Hawkins broken up. And here's Pippen leading the 3-on-2 as they spread the floor. Pippen for Rodman on the right. And it counts.
Well, Dennis Rodman doing what he does best, work on the offensive glass. Nobody gets a body on him. Frank Bukowski loses him right on the doorstep. Dennis Rodman finishing one off. And then you get the rare 3-on-2 fast break that you don't normally see. You see 3-on-1s, 2-on-1s, and Scottie Pippen making the nice play to Dennis Rodman.
Matt, I think that Dennis Rodman works the crowd better than he works the offensive board.
Well, he has the crowd going with 9 points and 10 rebounds. Shot clock at 5. And away from the ball, the call against the Sonics as Rodman was taken down by Kemp. That's 3 on Kemp.
Rodman and Kemp away from the ball. Kemp, the frustration. That was not a flop. He threw him to the ground. Sean, you cannot lose your poise here. That's Dennis Rodman trying to get into your head. You've been above that all series. Stay that way.
And this is that little bit of a different tactic that the Sonics have not seen in the last few games. Fronting the big man inside, and the Seattle not handling it very well at all.
The Bulls have a 15-point lead. Shoot.
By Dennis Rodman, who's been doing everything here in the third. This has just become a clinic for Chicago at the basket. Michael Jordan so ecstatic. George Karl forced to call a timeout. Things falling apart for Seattle. They're in desperate straits at this moment.
4:48 remaining, third quarter, and the Bulls lead by 15 points.
You feel so bad for Nate Mark. I dreamed my whole life of playing against Abdul-Jabbar in the NBA Finals. I finally got that chance, and I had a broken foot at the time, and it just ruined my life. Of course, until they let me carry your bag.
I was going to say, but it's been turned around the last couple of years.
Now that they
NBC Association.
Now that they let me carry your room service and make your dinner reservations, it's a lot better.
Pippen checking the shot clock. It's down to 3. Harper for 3. And a loose ball foul called on the Bulls.
I really haven't noticed the Sonics defense picking up that much, but in the last 3 possessions for Chicago, very tentative. They had a couple of fast break opportunities that they didn't take. The Sonics want to get this thing to 10 points before this third quarter's over.
Loose pass, Payton finding Perkins, and it's a 13-point Chicago lead. And the crowd trying to rev up the Bulls once again.
Good sign that Perkins is coming to life, but Sean Kemp's only taken 1 shot this half.
Nice move by Pippen. And here comes Payton with Jordan back.
Now right there, Payton should just go right at Jordan. You're only going to win if you attack with your strength.
Fires the 3. He has 14 points, and the Sonics are down by 10. Michael Jordan has not had a good shooting performance, but he has distributed the ball well. He's been looking for teammates. On the back tap, it's handled by Payton.
Ahmad was telling us that Phil Jackson does not want these wild threes. That's how Seattle got back into the end of the first half. They're creeping back in right now because of Chicago's poor offense.
Shrem with the post-up move. Rebound kept alive by Kemp. And the save by Kemp. What a play by Sean Kemp. What ball control to fight off 2 Bulls. And that makes it a 9-0 run for the Sonics. The Bulls call for time. So the Sonics have come roaring back. Down by as many as 17. They are now within 8 points.
The crowd here has been put back in their seats.
Phil Jackson will rest Michael Jordan. Rodman is back on the floor. Kukoc, Pippen, Harper, and Kerr. Rodman setting the screen. Kukoc in a battle with Perkins. Shot clock at 7. Here's Kerr over Perkins. Yes! A 3 for Steve Kerr, who was 3 of 20 from downtown in this series prior to that shot.
Oh, no way he could see the basket. He was totally covered. He just had to launch.
They bring Rodman back in, and he shuts down Kemp right away.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Intended for Pippen. And back comes Payton. Here's Kemp. Sean Kemp has mastered that shot. It appears he's about to put it on the floor and drive to the basket, but he has that nice little pull-up now.
In this situation with Chicago struggling, you say, why would Phil Jackson take Michael Jordan out? First of all, it's normally when he comes out of the game, late in the third quarter, but also Phil likes to show the confidence in the other players that they can stem the tide.
And yet another travel on the Bulls. That's the 5th time they have been called 4 steps.
But it's been when Jordan's on the bench this entire series that Seattle has made their greatest runs, particularly in this building. In the 2 games out there that Seattle won, it didn't matter that Jordan was on the court. Seattle spanked him anyway.
Minute 25 remaining, third quarter. Sonics down by 9. Payton putting moves on Harper. Did not find the shot. Shot clock at 4. Payton from deep. Forced into a difficult shot. And he
Great rebounding job by Scottie Pippen, who throughout this series, despite his shooting problems, has played the other parts of the game.
Harper rejected by Kemp. Kept alive, though. Harper brought it back to three-point territory. Shot clock is down to 5. Kukoc. Pippen traveling. What is going on here?
That's a good call. Scottie stepped into his shot. He didn't deliver it. Again, the hesitation that Scottie has. The shooting, both teams dead even. The score is not a 9-point lead. Scottie needs to attack, be more of a leader when Michael's on the bench.
Vincent Askew, who was benched the last 2 games, seeing some action here. But not happy with his play, and he goes right to the offense. Rodman with the rebound.
Everything one-on-one for Seattle. If you're going to go one-on-one, go one-on-one with Payton. Go one-on-one with Kemp. And move off of them. Everybody's standing around watching.
15 seconds to the quarter. 4-second differential with the shot clock. Pippen. Down to 5 seconds. Look out. Kerr going for the steal. Payton finding Hawkins for 3. After 3 quarters in Chicago. The Bulls 67. Sonics 58. Chicago with the ball. They're up by 9, and here is Jordan coming up short, but he drew the foul. Oh, he wanted that off the spin. His shooting's been off. He's 5 or 15. He's 9 of 10 at the line, and he'll go back to the line after that foul by Schrempf.
Matt mentioned earlier about the great ones when the game's not happening from the perimeter, get to the foul line. Looked like he was going to clear out a little bit with the stiff arm left, but he just dangled it out there, and Detlef came in and hammered him.
It's such a difficult cover for Vincent Askew to begin with. He has been buried so deep in the doghouse, hadn't played in the last couple of games, and now, even though he has been able to play Jordan in other situations, just looks very rusty out there.
And with this lineup for Seattle, Chicago's going to be able to get to the hoop, and nobody's going to be able to keep Rodman off the board.
And there is Juanita Jordan rooting her husband, and the Bulls on. They now have an 11-point lead. 9:50 to go in this 4th quarter. But the pass is off the mark.
Terrible pass, Detlef Schrempf.
Randy Brown for Tony Kukoc. Scottie Pippen played by Hersey Hawkins. Hawkins been very quiet here tonight after the 2 solid games. Look out. That's headed on the way. Brown tried to save it. Payton. And he was fouled by Pippen.
That was your ball. We were waiting to see, Mark.
Did not know whether to go left, did not know whether to go right, but really a poor decision on the part of Randy Brown in what amounted to an outlet pass and starting that little fast break play for Gary Payton. Bill, you mentioned before what a bad pass by Detlef Schrempf, and the reason why it was so bad is Gary Payton took his eye off the passer Detlef Schrempf, and you should never make a pass to a man unless he's looking to get the target and ready to catch it.
Well, that was your excuse for not feeding Wilt all the time, right? That Wilt wasn't looking.
If I didn't feed Wilt, I was on the bench pronto.
Sonics have not spent much time at the line. They're now 7 of 8 from the line. The Bulls 14 of 18. Bulls lead 72-63. Steve Kerr is back. It's Kerr and Jordan with Pippen, Rodman, and Kukoc on the front line. Kukoc from 3. Yes. Tony Kukoc, who contributed early in this series with some few shots, has hit his last 2 from downtown. And a foul, a hold called on Rodman. For Rodman, his 3rd.
Rodman working the triple post. You see the action away from the ball, the antithesis of what Seattle does. The split on the ball side, the screen down on the weak side, everybody involved for the Chicago Bulls.
Bill Wennington enjoying the moment. Dennis Rodman now 14 rebounds along with 9 points and 4 assists. Isolated against Brown. Hawkins for 3. Not even close. Percy Hawkins 2 of 5 from the field. Kukoc for straightaway, coming up short, and it lands in the hands of Kemp. Shrimp took the hit from foul.
Marv, when Gary Payton gets this short outlet pass from Shawn Kemp on one of their few defensive rebounds tonight, Gary Payton's got to drive that ball up and create the fast break himself. He throws it away so early in the possession. He's the playmaker. He's the creator on this team.
All right, Askew sitting down. Perkins is back with Shrimp and Kemp up front. Payton and Hawkins at the guards. Kemp going, and Rodman trying to draw the foul. Perkins for 3. Again, comes up short. Sam Perkins, 2 for 10 from the field.
Well, the Chicago Bulls have gotten a couple of major breaks there. A wide open look for Hawkins, and on another one there for Perkins to try to get Seattle back into the game. They just cannot make their 3-point shots.
Shot clock at 2. Kukoc firing away now. And a foul on Brown, making contact with Shrimp.
Marv, Scotty's been all over the court, Scottie Pippen, tonight in so many different ways. He ran down that last loose ball, but when he gets the ball against Detlef Schrempf and Hersey Hawkins, he is not blasted by those guys. There's no way that Schrempf and Hawkins can even stay in the same gym with Scottie Pippen on the defensive end.
Ron Harper getting set to return. Bulls now have 14 fouls. Sonics with just 2. Schrempf pulling the hook shot out of the repertoire.
But Rodman is taking over. He knows where every ball is going. I dump it into him in the low post. Now let him run the triple post.
Rodman has 16 rebounds. Jordan. Rodman and Perkins in the battle. It is called a jump ball. Standing ovation again from this Chicago crowd. They want to see the championship celebration tonight. The Sonics only 1 of 6 from the field in the 4th quarter. Oh, Pippen with the save. And it is Chicago ball with 6:50 remaining in the 4th, and the Bulls leading 75-63. Open shot for Pippen. Pippen able to scoop it up.
Second shots, the story of this game, and it's why the Chicago Bulls are in the position they are right now. Dennis Rodman does most of that damage for Chicago, but the rest of the team does very well because of all of his activity.
Here is Shrimp. So he ends that streak that you just saw, and the Bulls now lead 77-65. Shrimp with 17.
Seattle, Marv, has not been a terrific comeback team in these playoffs. When they played as the leader, they've been super.
Oh, Dennis Rodman with the one-hand rebound for his 17th, and he drew the foul, number 5, on Kemp. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. On the pull-up. Comes back to Jordan. Oh, the ball fake. We saw that in the Orlando series, but Michael this time did not take it to the basket, just setting it up. And an offensive foul is called. And for Micheal, his second.
Now, Micheal does have a tendency to use that off arm to wipe out the defender to get an advantage, and just ever so slightly just wipes at the hand of the defensive man.
You get the idea. He wants to do something that will get this crowd to explode. Perkins for three. Sam Perkins, 2 of 11 from the field.
Mark, Chicago so fundamentally sound. They box out magnificently. It's not a big team. Longley's not a great defensive lineman. That's a heat check. He knows he's got the rhythm. He said, why not?
Just under 5 minutes remaining in the third. And Sam Perkins, again, not able to hit. It's Pippen off the boards. Chicago with a 47-31 advantage on the board. Longley is fouled. Good lead from Pippen. And Luke Longley is headed to the line.
Well, that last sequence of fast breaks for Chicago, Sean Kemp is begging for the ball. They got Sam Perkins, everybody else casting off from three. They can't even get their star player the ball.
Standing ovation from this crowd at the United Center as Sean Kemp has fouled out. 18 points, 14 rebounds.
Luke Longley running the floor, and Sean Kemp, I think, very, very tired and frustrated that he could not get the basketball late getting back. And that really puts Seattle in a major hole. Looking over to the bench saying, hey, get me out, I want the ball. I don't know what's going on at this point.
I don't think he's asking to come out. I think he said, get me some shots here. Talked about a lead in 25. He didn't get close to that.
Well, what a magnificent series it has been for Sean Kemp. Took over in Game 7 against Utah and has played so well against the Chicago Bulls, which has led to much discussion around the country. You see it written, you see it talked about on the airwaves. That what a shame that Sean Kemp did not make the dream team at the Olympics.
Well, very possible that he might replace Scottie Pippen, who I don't think should play in the Olympics because of these problems that he's got health-wise.
But I'm told, Bill, that Pippen says no matter what, he'll be there. He's playing even if it's in a limited role. I know the Bulls would like to see him sit it out for a while. Dennis Rodman receiving an ovation as he sits down with 18 rebounds. And again, 11 on the offensive boards to equal an NBA Finals record. He tied it back in Game 2, the record that is held by Elvin Hayes of the Washington Bullets. So Dennis is in the record books twice for the 11 offensive boards. Bulls lead 79-66. We come up on 4 minutes to go. Fourth quarter. Harper was looking for the alley-oop. Last touch by Seattle.
Well, Chicago was having problems late in the third quarter with their offense. It was stagnant, nobody moving, and the ball not being passed very well. They came out of this fourth quarter and spread the floor more, and they got more space to run. They got better spacing on their passes.
Shot clock at 5. Pippen. Yes. Dick Pavetta blowing the whistle and apparently indicating a foul call away from the ball. The basket counts, and a double foul on Wingate and Jordan.
A lot of action underneath the boards. Just a lock up there. No need to call that. It's just two tough competitors going head to head. Let the game be played by players.
All right, here's Payton. Trying to give it up. The Bulls by 16, and the crowd sensing it. The Chicago Bulls seeking their 4th NBA title the last 6 years. Only in 1992 against Portland did they have the trophy presentation on their court. Pippen, and rebounded by Perkins. They won their first championship in Los Angeles against the Lakers in 1991. They won their third title in Phoenix against the Suns. Crowd looking for a travel. Perkins, Sam Perkins, who has had a very difficult time of it, 3 of 13 from the field. He now has 7 points, and the Bulls lead 82-68.
Marv, for Chicago, just keep moving. Push yourself through the fatigue. A couple more baskets will probably be all they'll need to get that championship.
Here's Kerr. Steve Kerr turning it around after the miserable time he had the previous 5 games. 3 for 3 tonight for 7 points, and the Bulls now lead 84-68. Just under 3 minutes remaining. Fourth quarter. Pass from Trent was thrown away. Hawkins could not get to it, and a timeout is being called. 2:44 remaining. Bulls, what appears to be the completion of what has been a magnificent season. But with the 2 losses to Seattle, did it cost them a piece of NBA history in terms of perception? The comparison has gone from greatest team of all time possibilities to, are they the greatest Bulls team of the 90s? Or are they still one of the great teams in the history of the league? Michael Jordan has not been able to find the cut, and Steve Kerr keeps it alive with 2:20 remaining in the fourth.
Marv, I think they're absolutely one of the greatest either. I don't think those 2 losses mean anything. Nobody remembers what the spread was in the series. As long as they win, that's what counts. They've delivered all year long.
Now down 2 minutes. 16-point. Kicks it out. Perkins. So Dennis Rodman with his 19th rebound. The only question is, will he break the NBA Finals record for offensive rebound? Standing ovation for the Chicago Bulls. Kerr. And back comes Hawkins with 1:25 to go. Rejected by Rodman. Wingate. And the Bulls now lead 84-70. The trophy presentation will take place on the floor here at the United Center. The Michael Jordan comeback will be completed. Here is Jordan kicking it out. Pippen. We are just under 1 minute remaining, and the Bulls will have won their 4th title. And for the Sonics, a season that saw them win 64 games, answer their critics by getting to the NBA Finals. They had the same people wondering over the first 3 games, but they came back in glorious fashion to force the 6th game. And they are now down to the final 21 seconds of this 1995-96 season.
Chicago Stadium, the old building, one of the loudest in all of sports. The United Center, I think, has finally come of age. They have reached the level with this crowd, and they've played a major part in this victory tonight.
Well, Eric Snow walks it up with time running out. Down to 10 seconds. A 3-pointer for Trent. 87-75, and we're in the final second. The Chicago Bulls have won the 95-96 NBA championship. Make it 4 in 6 years as they defeat the Sonics 87-75. And they are going wild in the Windy City.
The Bulls were able to complete the dream season and win the franchise's 4th NBA title after defeating the Sonics in Game 6. Michael Jordan, once again named Finals MVP, his 4th MVP trophy in his many tries. Thank you for watching this edition of Hardwood Classics on NBA TV. I'm Rick Kamla. We'll see you next time.